You can have one for $15,000. 2015 Ferrari F430. Can you believe it? See how the 48-year-old brother can do it at the smallest cost. Repair a burning Ferrari F430 accident car. Ferrari catches fire. I'm sure you've seen it before. And the best way for ordinary people to own Ferraris. There are two ways to get. One is that the year is called the old kilometer. The other is the blister fire accident car. Uncle Tooth, who has almost rescued his childhood sports car. It's the big yellow horse on the trailer. Ferrari F430 logo. This F430 was bought by Uncle Ya on the auction platform. Despite the appearance of this car, it is in there is no flaw in it. However, this is only one side of the car. But when you come to the other side, things are very different. I saw that this side had been charred by the fire. The engine in the cabin is also clearly visible. This is why are car prices so low? Many interested buyers, considering Ferrari's expensive accessories, they also chose to stay away. You can also see here, many of the cabin limits have been burned. The frame and fuel tank were also burned with fried paint. The only thing that makes Uncle Tooth engine in the cabin was not overly affected by the accident. The little brother who came to help also analyzed. The preparation of this Ferrari, definitely a huge challenge, because there are a lot of plastic parts has been destroyed in a fire. In addition, the two also found a good thing in the back of the car. It's the F430's expensive exhaust system. It has also been preserved intact. It is not difficult to see from the information. The fire at that time only spread to the B pillar. It was extinguished in time. This also makes the driver's cabin. It hasn't been affected too much. I saw it in the cab as well. Lots of carbon fiber kits. From the current situation, Uncle Tooth is still very satisfied with this F430. It's time to move it into the workshop. Ready. The first thing to remove here are the burned wheels. It is convenient for friends to enter the bottom of the line station in the engine room. Was it affected in the accident? Fortunately here, the fire was contained by a heat. Make sure the cabin is clear. The two dismantled the burn side group. You can see a lot of melted debris on the frame, due to the fact that after the auction has already started preparing. So he also escaped back to the cabin required limit. Now just replace the cabin limit. And with that decision, they dismantled the suspension. And then there's the roasted fuel tank. Considering that the fuel tank is not damaged, the two are ready to settle for the next best thing. Only remove the burnt fuel pump. This can greatly save time and cost. You can also see it now. There's still fuel dripping from the fuel pump. This also means that the original car can still be used. In addition, the tooth comb was also analyzed. The fire must have been caused by the fuel pump. Because the fuel pump is made of plastic, over time, it becomes extremely fragile. The fuel inside will spill from the top. The probability of causing a fire. All these tooth combs are also well prepared. I've spent hundreds of dollars online in advance. Amway bought a brand new fuel pump back. But this is not the best time to replace it, because there is still a limited number of burnt places in the cabin. This is undoubtedly the most troublesome for both of them, because a lot of threads have been scorched. But luckily it's just cleaning up. The tooth comb also chose to directly disconnect so you can improve your preparation. Then the line that has been prepared, just replace the bundle one by one. The next two, it should be the first time for this F430 ready to start. After all, if the V8 engine in the cabin unable to start, there is no value in investing again in the future. The two check the condition of the fuse in turn and replace the damaged fuse with the harness, replacement of fuel pump and fuse. Now, the pre-launch preparations are basically completed. But before that, also continue to add sufficient fuel to the fuel tank. Friends also take advantage of this Observe whether the fuel line under the chassis is unblocked. After seeing that the fuel line is fine, my best friend has a fire extinguisher. Prevent unexpected situations during just startup. As Uncle Tooth presses with anticipation when starting the button, engine in the cabin, but never gave the slightest response. Uncle Tooth at this time doesn't know either. What is the problem? In addition, Uncle Tooth has already done the best in his part. If it really can't start, you can only go to the demolition yard to escape one engine. But the friends who came to help have not given up Still working on the limits and the fuses. Results in repeated inspections. I really found the problem. So according to the information found on the mobile replaced phone, a 30 amp fuse. Then Uncle Tooth turned on the second boot again, and this time there's finally a response in the cabin. See the start in order. Uncle Tooth also made persistent efforts, finally woke up the cabin sinking. Engine that sleeps for many years. But there's something weird about that sound. The two judged that it was caused by the lack of oil and water. Pull out the grain and oil. It was really guessed by the two. Then the two added the oil again. In addition, the second fuel baby was replaced. Uncle Tooth can't wait to drive this car that has been missing for decades. Hit the road to experience the driving experience. It can also be seen here. The mechanical properties of the car are no longer the exterior keys that should be prepared to be burned in an accident. Uncle Tooth found another friend to help. My friend's advice was to cut up the burnt board. This will get the best results. After determining the next preparation plan, the two will also be able to use the rear bumper again. Remove one by one with tail lights. In addition, the fore and daughter board of the Ferrari F430, so it has to be cut off from the frame. in the burned area near the door. Then the whole piece of heteroplate glass needs to be treated. Uncle Tooth took advantage of the time to cut. I went out and bought a foreign child version of the F430. The two also started trying it out for the first time. Body panel. Uncle Tooth cost $3,500. It is close to a quarter of the price of the whole car. Subsequently, the fret marks the area that needs to be cut. You can start cutting. In addition to sanding the charred frame, this step is undoubtedly a careful fire. After all, there are still some gaps and corners. After completing the grinding process, you can spray the primer. So that's the end of the frame preparation. Here we go. The escaped foreign daughter board can be installed on the car. My friend has handed it in first. This is followed by rivets. After all this preparation, the incision can be welded because it's made of aluminum. So Uncle Tooth invited the local famous welder. Under its skilled welding techniques, escaped body panel. It was quickly welded onto the body of the F430. Now it's time to get ready for spray painting. On the spray paint, Uncle Tooth found a local garage. Be prepared to pay a price. Let it do the paint work on the body. You can also see here, restoring this Ferrari F430. I didn't get involved very much. Instead, I asked many friends to try to do it at a minimal cost to achieve the best results. But it is also because of this Ferrari F430. Uncle Gene's teeth have gained a very high voice on the extranet. From then on, it was out of control. At the age of 48, he gradually came into contact with countless classic sports cars by yourself. Opened his own Ferrari museum,